Oregon and play well tonight in this rivalry game.
UCLA won the toss, defer to the second half. It'll be Bagani who will kick it deep. And Riley Wormley, young running back, will let it sail into the end zone for a touchback. That'll bring out Jaden Mayava, who's been one of the more impressive quarterbacks in the country this season. 66% completion percentage, over 3,100 yards.
Yeah, he's had a marvelous year. Threw for over 300 yards last week on the road against Oregon, but the Trojans could not run the football a week ago. The season low 52 yards, and this is an offense and a pass offense that is built by running the ball first. And they were not able to do that a week ago. Look for USC to try to get that ground game going here tonight against the Bruins.
There was a flag down after that kick. It was a sideline warning going against USC. And so keep an eye on that. Expect this to get chippy. It normally does between the Trojans and the Bruins. King Miller, the impressive rookie. They get redshirt freshman, impressive walk-on in there on this first play. Weaving through all the way to the 30, a pickup of 5 for this USC offense.
Well, offensively, they've got a couple new guys starting the game at wide receiver, but King Miller, the third-team running back, has done a nice job filling in since week 7. Up front, Tobias Raymond has started every game at 3 different positions along that front.
Second down and 5. Fake it to Miller. Mayava with plenty of time. This UCLA defense doesn't get a ton of pressure on the quarterback. Mayava scrambles, eyes downfield, and now he'll just sail out of bounds.
Yeah, good coverage downfield. He was looking for his tight end, McCree, and he was covered. Now, we found out before the game that for some reason, Makai Lemon and Jacoby Lane, their top 2 receivers, were not going to start the football game. We don't know how long they will be on the sidelines. It's not an injury. It's some form of disciplinary action, I guess. But those 2 guys who are dynamic and a big part of this pass offense not on the field right now in this first third down play.
And it's a 3rd down and 9. Going deeper into the depth chart at that wide receiver spot. You see how successful. And on 3rd down, Mayava with time. Tanook Hines has really shown the speed and the skill set. Takes it all the way to midfield on the crossing route.
Well, this is a vintage Lincoln Riley play. Here's Hines. He's going to come across the field, but he's going to go behind the line of scrimmage. So that means guys can block downfield. You see a nice block right there because the ball's thrown behind the line of scrimmage. They can get blocks down the field, and it's a nice conversion on 3rd down from the guy who has really been hot these last couple weeks, Tanook Hines.
Like Riley says, he's just got a very mature demeanor on the practice field. He works hard and really wants to learn as opposed to just showing all his skill. They have another good run on 1st down for King Miller. This UCLA defense is going to have their hands cut out for them, and Tim Skipper knew it against a very dynamic group.
Yeah, well, up front, Gary Smith III has had a very steady year, and he's got to play well tonight against this USC run game. In the back of that defense, the secondary, Scooter Jackson, the nickel back. When I talked to Kevin Coyle, said he's got to play well tonight because he's going to be matched up on one of those receivers a lot tonight. But stopping the run is the first priority for this UCLA defense.
King Miller only averaged 2 yards per carry last week at Oregon, averaging just under 7 per carry this season, and that's another one that'll add to the tally, a 13-yard pickup right up the gut.
And if they can't stop this play, they're going to have problems. This is the counter play. They pull the guard and the tackle. We talked to Tim Skipper. We talked to Kevin Coyle about defending this play. They wanted to attack those blockers. That time, no attack by the defense, and a nice, healthy gain on their vintage counter play.
Tim Skipper said most teams just kind of wait for the contact. They want to bring the contact. As Miller this time going to get to the outside. And Miller gets planted after a yard. Nice tackle coming up. Scooter Jackson from the secondary.
We talked about Scooter Jackson needing to play well in pass coverage. That time showing himself in the run support. These last 4 games that UCLA's defense has played against Indiana, Nebraska, Ohio State, and Washington, they have really struggled to stop the run. An average of 213 yards per game they've given up on the ground. And USC, again, their offense is at its best when they get their run game going first.
UCLA had a 4-game stretch which included the 3 wins, and 3 of them they gave up 17, 13, and 17. But in the last 4 have given up 180. On a pitch, Miller gets sandwiched as he crosses the 25-yard line, picks up 5.
This would have been an even bigger gain if he wouldn't have dropped the football. They had the edge secured. He drops the football, and because of that, it allowed UCLA's defense to get a little bit of pursuit to the football and bring up a third down play.
Well, King Miller on this opening drive has touched it 5 times and he's ran it for 30 yards. Last week he had 15 carries for 30 yards.
13 personnel. That means 1 back, King Miller, and 3 tight ends in the ball game for USC.
It's a 3rd down and 3 with McCree in motion. The senior on senior day will not get it. Instead, it's the redshirt freshman, and King Miller keeps the drive rolling.
And it's the same play. Again, it's the counter, the backside guard, and the tackle. Now they have both tight ends to the strong side. They're blocking, but it's backside guard and tackle leading the way. And they're able to get upfield onto the blocks and convert on 3rd down and short. I mean, if you can't stop that play, you're going to have a long night against USC because Lincoln Riley will just continue to go back and back to it until you figure it out.
Riley warmly now in there on 1st down. They fake it to him. Mayava's second throw is a catch by McCree with some blockers in front, and he gets spilled out inside the 10, 14 yards down the sideline to set up 1st and goal.
See, this is why the run game is so important. They're going to bring McCree out, but watch the defense react to the run fake. USC is establishing the run. It gets all those linebackers flowing to the right, and they slip the tight end out the backside for a nice gain. Everything that USC and Lincoln Riley likes to do throwing the football is predicated on their ability to run it first. And this is the kind of drive that they love to have right here.
1st and goal from the 5. Miller on the season with 5 rushing touchdowns. It's the 10th play of the drive, and it is a give. And it is Miller. And it is a touchdown.
And it is the counter again.
When King goes, the Trojans follow. An opening drive score.
Again, 3 tight ends. Here's one. Here's one. They're going to bring him in and block. And here comes the backside guard and tackle. They secure the front side. They kick out and lead through on the play side. And King Miller stands up walking into the end zone.
Ryan Sayeri, another high-impact walk-on, will be out there for the extra point. And he tacks it on. 7-0, 10-play, 75-yard drive. Words that don't get used enough. You know, I got to reinsert those to my vocabulary. Sayeri will boot it away after the quick drive right down the field to open the game, and now it'll bring out Nico Iamaleava, who missed the game 2 weeks ago at Ohio State with a concussion, then left the game last week in the 3rd quarter against Washington with neck spasms.
Well, if you ever had any questions about how tough this guy is, just put on some game tape from this season, because he has no regard for his body when he runs the football, and he's an excellent runner, and he gives them a chance because he can extend plays, make plays out of the pocket, and he is somebody that, as defensive coordinator Dan Lynn said, you have to account for him because he can be a real problem.
Tim Skipper called him the first tall, skinny dude he's ever seen that just absorbs hits. Quasi Gilmer will have the first catch and run and gains 5 on 1st down for this UCLA offense.
Well, on cue, Quasi Gilmer with the first catch of the game, because I thought that he had to have a big game. He's the leading receiver coming into the game. They just haven't had a lot of chunk plays here lately. He needs to step up. Garrett DiGiorgio, the right guard, number 72, has missed a couple games with injuries. He's back. Good that he's healthy. Also good because he's kind of the emotional leader of this UCLA offensive line.
Anthony Wood stays in there after a 6-yard pickup on the opening play. Hudson Habermill, a 7th-year tight end. Was a question mark coming in. He is playing. That one's through the hands of Gilmer on a fastball from Iamaleava. It's 3rd down.
A lot of traffic in there. Eric Gentry, number 18, is so long. He was right in the throwing lane. Watch 18 get right in the throwing lane, gets a little tip on the football. I mean, he has a serious wingspan at a linebacker position, able to get a hand on that one, bringing up 3rd down.
Playing in his final game here at the Coliseum, 5th-year senior from Philly. 3rd down and 4.
Interesting to see now how USC rushes the passer, and do they have a spy to account for Nico as a scrambler on this 3rd down play.
Gilmer the motion man. Here is Iamaleava. Throws incomplete. A lot of contact as he was looking for Mikey Matthews, and that tight coverage from Christian Pierce forced the 3 and out.
Yeah, Christian Pierce starting his second game at safety, number 24. It's man coverage. Does a nice job of getting a hand on the football, getting around the receiver, and making a play on the football. Christian Pierce and Kennedy Urlacher are the two starting safeties for the second week in a row because Bishop Fitzgerald, Kamari Ramsey, the original starters, both out with injury on this game.
Josiah Zamora, the fifth-year senior by way of Mater Dei High School, is out there to return this kick from Will Carroll. So the 3 and out force by this USC defense. They came after it, but Carroll gets it off cleanly. And now Zamora will back up and take it from just inside the 20. Finds a lane. Zamora trying to set up some blockers before he gets spilled out across the 30 to the 32. A fifth
position to win. They couldn't get a stop late. They lost on a walk-off field goal. Notre Dame, they got dominated up front, gave over 300 yards rushing to the Irish. And then too many mistakes a week ago to win a game of that magnitude.
Take it to Miller on first down. Now Mayava has to get away. He'll just fling it towards the sideline, out of bounds as we check in with KT.
Well, guys, along that point, I asked Lake McCree how the team responded to last week's loss at Oregon. He said it obviously was not the outcome they wanted, but they're choosing to learn from it. He told me that they had a team meeting on Sunday. Lincoln Riley told them you can be angry and upset, but at the end of the day, you got to put it behind you because we have a huge rivalry game coming up this week. He said we have to learn from it and not let it affect our future. Yeah,
and KT, that's actually kind of the overarching theme of this season. There's so many injuries with this team. Eli Sanders and Wayman Jordan, their top 2 running backs, a number on the offensive line as Mayava throws the quick one to Nick Hines on the outside. He'll get a couple, getting it across the 35 with a flag down. After the fact, Scooter Jackson rode him out of bounds, and those two had words after the play.
Wondering if this was a block infraction by number 9, Jay Fair again. Different wide receivers out there for USC to start this game.
Holding. Offense. Number 9. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
And Greg Blum does, in fact, confirm.
This is Jay Fair, a transfer from Auburn. As Hines tries to get outside, you see the grab of the jersey, not allowing the defender to be released to get a play on the football. And again, the question remains, when will we see Makai Lemon and Jacoby Lane in the football game?
Wormley back out there as the running back at the bottom of your screen, split out wide. An empty set for Mayava, and deals on target. Richardson gets spun down to the 37-yard line.
A lot of 12 and 13 personnel so far in the game. This was 11, so they spread it out. Only 1 tight end, 3 wide receivers. And Mayava does a nice job of reading the zone coverage and finding a hole in the defense to bring up a 3rd and manageable situation.
It'll be a 3rd down and 5 for Lincoln Riley's group.
UCLA showing a lot of bodies around the line of scrimmage.
Wormley stays in, could be a free play. Mayava on a fadeaway, put it right into the chest of Richardson for a first down.
Yeah, it was a free play. I just don't know why the defensive edge guy didn't try to get back on sides. He just kind of stayed in the neutral zone, did not try to get back in the right position, gave Mayava a free play. Watch. Now, I guess there wasn't enough time, but he kind of got too forward in the stance. They were trying to bring some pressure, and Mayava made him pay for it.
That's a heck of a throw by Mayava, fading backward. There's only the 1 miss so far. Add another completion. Is this another screen pass in traffic, getting thrown forward for 10 yards. So this USC offense is humming. That one, Corey Sims.
And 2 completely different possessions to start this game. First possession, a lot of extra tight ends, mostly running the football, a couple little play action passes. This drive, more 11 personnel and more throwing the football, just showing you the versatility of this Trojan offense.
And all passing so far on this second drive. It was right down the field, mostly on the ground on the first drive. This time Mayava's going to keep it himself, and he's got wheels, he's got blocking, and Mayava's got a big gain down the field. Aaron Williams chops him down, but Jade Mayava showing off the entire arsenal, this time 19 yards.
Remember the first possession? It's all counter and give to the back. This time, fake the counter, fake it to the back, and keep the football as a quarterback. Beats the edge guy, and Maava, who has done this all season. I mean, in critical situation and critical games, he has proven himself to be an excellent runner. He was a real dual threat guy at UNLV before he came here to USC, but in critical situations, he has run the ball extremely effectively. He has 6 rushing touchdowns on the season as well.
Think about what he did against Nebraska. Really beat them with his legs much more than his arm. This time King Miller's going to lose yardage. Ran right into a brick wall. Sets up 2nd and long.
The only chance that UCLA's defense has is to make plays like that on early downs. They've got to win on 1st or 2nd down to force USC to play behind the chains a little bit. You have to dictate when they throw the football so you can adjust your coverage accordingly. You've got to be good on 1st down.
2nd and 10. Miller again. And again, it's well played by this Bruin defense. Williams and Busick both in the area.
Yeah, watch, nice flow. Now watch the linebacker kind of scrape. The linemen do their job. They eat up the blocks and allows the linebackers to kind of get to the football. And this is what you need. Good plays on 1st and 2nd down, 3rd down and long. And now you gotta play pass defense.
USC 6th in the country in 3rd down percentage, 51.1%. UCLA allows a 54% success rate on 3rd down, last in the Big Ten. This one 39, USC 3 for 3, looking for the end zone, incomplete, overthrew Jay Fair as he was matched up with the nickel Jackson.
Well, again, new receiver in. Jay Fair is in the slot. That's usually where Makai Lemon plays. He doesn't really get separations. It's good coverage by Scooter Jackson. And the ball thrown too far outside anyway. If Jacoby Lane is in the game, you throw a jump ball and let him use his big body. If it's Makai Lemon, you count on him getting separation. In that case, the receiver didn't help him out and throw it away on 3rd down.
So Ryan Sayuri will come on for a 38-yard field goal. Pepper will snap. Sam Johnson will hold it. Sayuri missed just a 2nd field goal last week, and this one gets blocked. UCLA comes up with a huge play on special teams.
Last week, it was a missed field goal and a punt return allowed for a touchdown to Oregon. This week, he jumped off sides a minute ago, but he's going to slip through this crack right here and get in to get a hand on Sayuri's field goal attempt and thwart the 2nd possession. Played high school together or against each other. We're on 7-on-7 teams. A lot of familiarity from kids from this area.
Sets up this 1st down line brought to you by T-Mobile as the drive starts at the 21. 1st down at the 31. Imaliava out of the pocket. Habermill makes the catch. He tried to go airborne, and he gets dragged back down to earth.
Yeah, Habermill, we weren't even sure if he was going to play or not. He's been battling some injuries, trying to go up in the air, and young man, I think you need a little bit more vertical ability to try this play.
Well, maybe year 4 on campus, he still had it, but by year 7, the bumps and bruises just get you there. Just has Van Wilder. Alex Graham, the talented freshman, made that tackle. They've got a lot of excitement for Graham in the defensive backfield. On the delayed handoff, up the middle. It's the first down for the Bruins as Anthony Woods is going to take it across.
Nice conversion, but that play looked like it almost wasn't going to happen. There was something funky with the snap. The snap kind of was delayed and had a little too much loft to it, and Nico was fortunate to field it, get the handoff, and they got the conversion. Jerry Neuheisel, interim offensive coordinator, very familiar with Danton Lynn, the defensive coordinator, because he was at UCLA. They were on the same staff. And he told me Danton is a very tendency-oriented guy. That's what drives his defensive calls. Fortunately, he's only got 7 games to look at from me being the coordinator.
On the handoff, Jalen Berger keeping the legs churning, will gain 2.5, maybe 3 yards, make it 2nd down and 7. Under 3 minutes to play in this first. Danton Lynn, only 1 year as defensive coordinator at UCLA. That was back in 2023. Had come from the Baltimore Ravens, and you talk to most people around college football, they go, oh, well, you look at his defense, it's like the Ravens. And that's what Tim Skipper said. Now, Jerry Neuheisel, excuse me, now has to go out there and try to battle what is a challenging defense, but one that teams have figured out, especially on the ground this year.
Well, it really looks like that on third down. I think that's where he's at his best. A lot of simulated pressures, disguises of coverages on third down passing situations.
Second down and 7. Iamaleava. The quick one will go to his running back Woods out of the backfield. And Woods zigzagged his way for a first down across the 45-yard line. Gentry makes the tackle after a pickup of a dozen.
Yeah, nice job by Nico, just taking what he's got. Nice, easy completion. Get it out to the back. You got 3 blockers in front. That's just like a sweep running play, right? Get the ball to the back quick. He's got 3 blockers in front. It's a pass, but it looks like a run, and it's another first down for the Bruins.
So UCLA offensively starting to find a little bit of a rhythm. Nico Iamaleava has just so much more rushing prowess than just about everybody else on this team. 183 more rushing yards than the second leading rusher, Jalen Berger, this season, as he hands it straight ahead. And it is Berger who will get it to midfield.
USC lost 3 games this year so far, and in all 3 games they were outrushed. You take a look at Berger's numbers. Iamaleava is the leading rusher from the quarterback position, has missed a couple games, but this USC defense against Notre Dame, they gave up over 300 yards. They were outrushed significantly last week against Oregon. Even the game they lost at Illinois, they were outrushed by that team as well. So it's kind of been the formula when they have not won games. They've not run the football or stopped the run the way they like.
Haven't seen Iamaleava tuck it yet. This is Mokiao Atamalala as he runs into a wall of Nicholson. 7-yard pickup, first down, and now could be the final play of this opening quarter is Jacoby Lane and Makai Lemon getting stretched out on the sideline. Have not seen them yet in this opening quarter, and UCLA looking to retort with their first scoring drive of the night.
Haven't seen Nico run it yet, but he looks very comfortable throwing the football and distributing the ball. He's 4 of 6 so far in the ball game. Free play here. Take a shot.
First down. Iamaleava will towards the sideline. A little high for Quasi Gilmer, who was matched up with Nicholson, and Stewart looked like he was the one who jumped off.
Offside. Defense number 4 in the neutral at the snap. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Good job by the center, Sam Yoon, because he snapped this football as soon as he felt there was offsides in the neutral zone. I'm not sure that was the snap count or when it was expected by the quarterback, but he did a nice job knowing that somebody was in the neutral zone. Snap the football, get your quarterback a free play, and they get the 5 yards, and it's 1st and 5. Nice drive going right here for the Bruin offense.
We've already seen a number of running backs used. As expected from Tim Skipper, loves this group, the energy that they feed off of one another. It's Anthony Frias' turn on 1st and 5. The give, shimmy, shake, and a first down to end the first quarter for UCLA.
And high school football talent.
And they'll go Wildcat to start the second quarter. Berger in line to take this snap. With Frias, instead O'Keefe try to get to the edge, and he does. Berger inside the 20. And we go down to KT.
Well, I asked Jalen Berger and Isaiah Chisholm how they've handled the adversity they've faced this season. Berger said, we know how talented we are and what we could have been. It's hurtful how the season turned out, but we've got a chance to make up for it tonight. And Chisholm said, despite the season not meeting their expectations, they still have each other's backs. Described the relationship between the offense and defense as unwavering faith, guys.
A lot of that goes back to Tim Skipper and the job that he's done in keeping this group together. Todd, how about this? UCLA has the best red zone scoring percentage at 96.4% in the Big Ten, but they have the second fewest red zone trips in the league. Purdue, the only one with less. Yeah. Only the 38th trip to the red zone this season, as Berger will run it inside the 15 down to the 12.
Well, it's good to be efficient. And so far, a nice blend of different running styles. Not a lot of throwing, nothing down the field so far for Nico, but they've got this USC defense a little bit on their heels. That Wildcat play took advantage again. 2 new starting safeties. Kennedy Urlacher was the guy who missed the tackle on the edge and allowed Berger to turn that into a big game.
Pierce and Urlacher currently out there. We've already seen Alex Graham, the freshman from Detroit, out there. Gilmer in motion on 2nd and 6. Iamaleava wide open. A completion of Mikey Matthews for a first down. It's 1st and goal for the Bruins. An 8-yard pickup as Urlacher had to come in to spin him out of bounds.
Yeah, really nice concept here. You're going to put Nico on the move. You're going to give him a run or pass option. Matthews on a little out route, an easy throw. And he catches that on the move, turns upfield, and gets another first down inside the 10-yard line. And you just got to feel like UCLA has to score touchdowns when they get these opportunities. Their defense is going to have a hard time stopping USC consistently. You can't settle for a field goal here.
Iamaleava has 4 rushing touchdowns, and he will take off. Up the middle, just get past that initial line of scrimmage. Gains half a yard to set up 2nd down.
UCLA tried a different formation that time. They went tackle over. They took their right tackle, Ruben Unije, and moved him over to the left side as a tight end. It did not fool the USC defense and stopped for little if no gain.
This was where Iamaleava was particularly dangerous against Penn State in that massive upset win, 42-37. Had the 3 rushing touchdowns in that game, especially in this area of the field. He found a way to get through and really hurt that Penn State defense.
I think he put him out on the edge here a little bit.
Berger takes the snap this time. He handed it off, and just not a lot of room to work with for Anthony Frias. That's up 3rd and goal. Jerry Neuheisel has had a couple of brilliant play calls since taking over as the interim offensive coordinator, part of that 3-game winning streak. That's right when he took over, and the offense has looked different ever since.
And I think Tim Skipper has already told Jerry Neuheisel, this is 2-down territory. We're not going to settle for a field goal here. They are coming here to win. There's no sense holding anything back. There's no plays for next week. This is it. You got 2 plays to find a way to get it in the end zone. And number 9 gives you a pretty good chance.
Play clock winding down, and you see Tim Skipper. Still got good speed. Former middle linebacker at Fresno State got down, called the timeout before the play.
First charge team timeout, UCLA.
So Nico Iamaleava and this Bruin offense will look to punch it in when we come back to the Coliseum.
Now Nico Iamaleava doing a good job getting the ball out of his hands. A lot of quick throws. Very decisive, very accurate, and distributing the football. This was a key conversion to get him inside the 5-yard line. I would expect something on this 3rd down play very similar to that. Get the quarterback out to his right and a little bit of a rub route where you got outside receivers coming in and one of those slot guys moving to the outside.
A great look at our big shots presented by Nissan. 3rd and goal. Seen a couple wildcat plays. This time it's going to be Iamaleava with Woods. Looking for the end zone. It's caught. Quasi Gilmer, touchdown. The Bruins respond. It's Nico to Quasi.
Well, this is exactly what they did. The 2 inside receivers are going to go out and just create a little bit of a screen and allow Gilmer to get underneath inside, and another short, accurate, quick throw by Nico for the touchdown. Excellent concept that pays off a really nice job and a really nice drive by UCLA.
Only right that 2 local kids would get it done as the extra point goes through for Pagani. As Tim Skipper about Quasi Gilmer said, sometimes you have to remind yourself he's just a sophomore. He's so chatty, but as Lincoln Riley has said, they still have a lot to play for. This is a rivalry game. There's that part of it, but also paving the road, not just for the players that came before them, but certainly for the players that are coming afterward. The #1 recruiting class coming in, a brand new football building going up and opening up this summer. For UCLA, as Tim Skipper said, you change the entire viewpoint of your season with a win here tonight. And this is exactly why. You look at the history of this rivalry. First meeting was back in 1929. Officially, it's SC 51-34-7. The winner receives that victory bell. The Athletics overall, just some of the most iconic teams and names in sports history. 2nd and 3rd in total championships all time. And this is the Crosstown Cup, a year-long all-sports competition from 01-02 all the way through. USC leads it 14-9. And now we'll see if the Trojans offense with Makai Lemon and Jacoby Lane on the field can have a response. Fake it, throw it. And nobody home. Looking for Lane on one of those patented jump balls, but Andre Jordan was down there with him.
Yeah, Andre Jordan is in excellent position. You know you've got the sideline as your friend, and he just kind of works Lane towards that sideline. Little contact, but no room there on the sideline to get the ball in there, and a nice play on first down by this UCLA defense. Again, very important for them to play well on early downs and force USC into definite passing situations.
We'll see if they can force USA after that. Second down and 10 from the 25. It's Mayava to throw, and it will be a screen for Miller. Just dropped it right over the top of the defense, and Miller does the rest. Picks up 20 down the sideline, down to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, you sit there and you watch that play and you say, man, that's an easy throw, right? It's a short throw. Nothing's easy about this throw. There's a defender there. You've got to show touch. You got to get it over the defender, but it also has to be a pass that the running back can catch it moving forward and not slow down and turn it into the kind of game that King Miller was able to do.
He's got 10 total touches for 60 total yards in the opening touchdown on their first drive.
Time to find Lemon, get him involved in the game now.
Looking for Lane initially, now back to Miller. Second straight catch. Miller looking to make it happen himself, and he gets denied right at the 49-yard line. Just 4 yards on the catch and run.
Yeah, they faked the wide receiver screen to the side with Lemon and Lane, and then by design went the other way to King Miller. A little extracurricular at the end of that play. I think Scooter Jackson knocked down Makai Lemon. Jacoby Lane took offense to it, kind of gave a little shove to Jackson. That's the matchup, though, in the slot. This guy right here has had as good of a year as a wide receiver as anybody in college football.
Play action pass. Mayava through his progressions. Pump. And he tries to get away. Throws being dragged down. Nearly picked. Kanye Clark had a chance battling with Lemon. And it's 3rd and 6.
Well, great job by Anthony Jones, number 15, not giving up. He's not going to get the sack, but he hangs on to that left ankle. And probably an ill-advised throw by Mayava that he gets away with it. And credit his receiver, Makai Lemon, for kind of getting a hand on it to knock it away.
He doesn't get pressured a ton, and this UCLA defense doesn't generate a ton of pressure, but they do force a 3rd down and 6. They bring 4 with a spy. Toward the sideline, perfect placement. Walker Lyons first down.
Yeah, really nice route by Lyons. They're going to keep McCree in. And he does a nice job, Lyons, getting inside leverage and then running the out route, and another nice touch throw by Mayava. These two tight ends, Walker Lyons, Lake McCree, are so versatile, and Lincoln uses them in so many different ways, formations, motions. That's why you see them on the field together so often in this offense.
Wormley back in the backfield, first down. Mayava throwing for Wormley, open, perfect space there, another gash. This one gets to the 25.
Now Wormley's in the backfield. They're going to bring motion and then just kind of slip him out to the multi-receiver side. You see 2 tight ends go inside, and just a poor course to the ball. Isaiah Chisholm, I think number 32, the linebacker, took a really bad path to the running back there. Another chunk play for the Trojans.
First run of the drive. It's a Wormley gain of 1. This USC offense already up to 184 first half yards compared to just 80 so far for the Bruins. Of course, never been a concern for Lincoln Riley. Talked about learning under Mike Leach and never being scared when calling plays. Being willing to roll the dice really at any point in the game.
Call plays with conviction, believe they're going to work. That's the biggest thing he took from his time under Leach.
Second down and 9. Mayava. Good protection, a bullet. It's Jacoby Lane with a stiff arm on a first down to the 11.
Well, excellent protection, first of all. Watch these 5 guys up front just give a clean pocket to Mayava. He scans left, back to the middle, all the way back to the backside of the route to his big receiver, Jacoby Lane. That's working through the progression with your eyes, trusting your protection, and coming up with a big-time throw.
Lincoln Riley looking frustrated on the USC sideline. You see what Maiava's done on this drive already. Up to 138 yards on the day, 11 of 15. First down, Brian Jackson in there back. He has it, and he'll lose yardage. He just ran to the one spot he couldn't go to as John Vaughn's got penetration, his 5th TFL of his 6th college season.
Yeah, watch the blitz by the linebacker. He's going to just come right in here, right through here. He beats the block of the tight end, Walker Lyons, gets into the backfield. I mean, he was accounted for by the tight end, but he just beat the block. And again, another good play on first down by this Bruin defense, putting USC behind the chains a little bit.
This is what happened on their previous drive. It was a negative play on first down, eventually led to the blocked field goal, and UCLA took advantage to score on the other end. King Miller, reverse. Makai Lemon with some room to run. Lemon trying to beat to the outside, and again, well played by the Bruins. Andre Jordan didn't break contain.
Yeah, Andre Jordan stayed at home. That's what you want the backside corner to do. Now he's right here. It looks like he's playing man, but as this comes around, he's going to release the receiver and maintain the outside edge of the defense. Force him back in. Excellent play by the corner, Andre Jordan. He wasn't fooled by the play. He stayed at home, and he showed discipline to bring up third down and 11.
Miller stays in there. It is Kanye Clark matched up with the big body of Lane at the bottom. Maiava looking the other way. Now out of the pocket. Maiava on the run. Short, incomplete. Walker Lyons the closest target. And this UCLA offense again bends but doesn't break.
A pretty nice little pass rush that time. Again, it's easier to rush the passer when you expect pass. It's 3rd and 11, right? So it's a 4-man rush with a late add-on by the linebacker. They flush the quarterback, and they get the stop on 3rd and long. But the fact that they got them into 3rd and long allowed that defensive line to pin their ears back a little bit and try to get pressure.
So the first attempt from Sayeri was blocked from 38. This one's going to be a 30-yarder. Scott Taylor was the man to block it on the first attempt. Again, Pepper will snap. Johnson will hold, and Sayeri will look to get his team back in front, and he missed it wide right.
Oh, boy.
What a season he has had, but these last 2 weeks have been nightmarish for the walk-on. Redshirt freshman had been nails week in and week out, but 2 chances and no points for the kicker. Keeps it tied at 7.
Rushing since then, and they played very well on 1st and 2nd down defending the USC run game.
Now let's see if they can cash in again after just the 4th missed field goal of the year for Sayeri, but 2 of the 4 coming today, and Anthony Woods takes advantage with 13 on the ground.
Nice job of outrunning the linebacker Jaden Walker. Watch number 31. He's responsible. He's unblocked. He just can't quite get there. He's responsible for the edge of the defense. He takes a bad angle, and another positive run for a first down for UCLA.
See the stark difference between the two, and really that second drive, Nico Iamaleava caught a rhythm, a couple of wildcat plays to keep this USC defense on their heels as well. Iamaleava 5 for 5 on that second drive. Flushed, throws, a completion, but a short one as Woods lost his footing and gets it to the 35-yard line. Time now for a Wayfair game break. Here's John Fanta.
Well, Noah, let's go to the Iron Bowl. Alabama trying to continue their candidacy for the college football playoff. Ty Simpson to Isaiah Horton. Here's a who. He's in for a touchdown. 10-0 Bama. Noah, happy holidays to you.
Oh, thank you, John. After your top 5 Thanksgiving sides list,
yeah.
we do have some conversations that need to be had. Mainly, where's cornbread? 2nd down and 7. Iamaleava, good protection. Now he'll run. Where he's most dangerous, but he just lost it. Oh, he had a lane, too. He might have had a first down. Instead, it's going to be 3rd.
This is where he's most dangerous, when he scrambles between the tackles, when he can get right upfield, and he becomes an excellent runner. Now, the end of that play, he put the ball down on the ground. Watch this. He fumbled last week against Washington doing the same thing. The only problem I have with him as a runner, he can be kind of loose with the football. He had 2 fumbles in the game at Washington before he left with the injury.
Sets up a critical 3rd and 5. Feels like UCLA has to capitalize on any opportunity given to them here tonight. Ucla through his progressions. Lofts open. Gilmer again for a first down. Taken over this first half. Gains 10.
Well, how about the protection? Because this is a long developing play. Gilmer's going to come all the way across the formation. Watch the protection by that front 5. Excellent pocket, and it allows Nico to work the progression all the way across, hit Gilmer on the other side of the formation, and keep the ball rolling in a new possession.
So Gilmer already 3 catches, 19 yards, and the touchdown on the previous drive. He had 4 catches, 37 yards, and a touchdown against Ohio State 2 weeks ago. Their leading receiver in every category coming in. A long substitution getting off the field for USC. And they're going to just get this play off. Play action. Ucla just airmailed it. Kyle Miller was the closest target. And that one was disjointed from the start.
Well, and what Jerry Neuheisel needs to file away right now is, okay, they're going to squat on these short routes. So we've got to do something to offset that. An out and up, a hitch and go, a sluggo route, a slant and go. Something to take advantage of the aggressiveness of the corners. Now trying to sit down on some of the short routes that UCLA has been throwing.
So Kobe Pepe taking his time, the 5th-year senior from Long Beach, getting back to the side. Makes it 2nd down and 10. On the handoff, and Frias is going nowhere. Sent back by Jakeem Stewart.
Jakeem Stewart is such a great story. Such a young guy, kind of a freak athlete who just gets better each game that he plays. Came on a little inside stunt that time and right into the backfield for the stop, bringing up a 3rd and long. They've got 2 young freshmen, Jakeem Stewart and Floyd Buchard, that they are extremely high on to kind of be the anchors of this Trojan defensive line for years to come.
Lincoln Riley said defensive line is where we're really going to showcase a lot of that growth starting next season, as UCLA will just take this to the 2-minute timeout. About as UCLA in their 3 wins this season have led at halftime. In their 8 losses have trailed through 2 quarters.
Well, very important for Nico to take care of the football in this 3rd down and 10 play. There's nothing wrong with punting the football if it's not there in this situation. Pressure.
Ucla rifles. It's caught.
Excellent.
Going down low. His main man, Quasi Gilmer. 11 more.
USC, Danton Lynn choosing to bring pressure. Watch the pressure and watch the protection again. And Nico knows that these people are coming. It's man-to-man. I've got my favorite target on an out route beyond the sticks. He has time to make an accurate throw. And it's another first down, working on Kennedy Urlacher, the safety, in man-to-man coverage.
And they're going to take their time. They won the toss and elected to defer, so get the ball to start the 2nd half. This time, a lot of movement for not a lot of yardage for Anthony Woods as he ran into Gentry. And now let's see if USC starts using their timeouts.
Well, I don't think if you're UCLA that you sit on the ball right here. You're in USC territory now after that conversion. I think you stay aggressive and try to find yourself having some problems, or at least me.
You don't need to Ricky Bobby it. Sometimes it's okay to not be first. 2nd down and 9. Ucla, play action. Pressure comes. Ducks through. Ucla to the outside for a first down, out of bounds, and now into field goal range for the Bruins.
Yeah, does a really nice job hanging in the pocket as long as he can, and then knows he has an escape route. I mean, he waited as long as he could, tried to read this through. You know, with some quarterbacks, you talk about going through your progressions. You say it's 1, 2, 3. With Nico, it's a little different. It's 1, 2, and me. So, I mean, he's going to look, but at a certain point, that clock's going to go off in his head and said, I can make a play with my legs. And he did right there for a first down.
10th play of the drive, now 1:17 to play in this first half. Ucla Usc, the man in motion. Instead, it's coming out of the backfield. It's going to be Woods trying to stay in bounds, and he does. He took a pop from Pierce after a gain of 3. Coming up on the Xfinity Halftime Report, look ahead to the Conference Championship weekend. Next weekend, a season finale of Fanta and 6, y'all. That's sad. Season finale is always sad. Ahmed Fareed, Joshua Perry, Chris Sims, Nicole Auerbach will have you covered with everything from around the country as the playoff picture starts to crystallize more and more with each final score. USC was trying to put themselves in. Talk to him. He's almost got this very calm demeanor of, oh, this thing's getting good right now.
Yeah.
Why would anybody want to go elsewhere? The high school recruiting's getting to a point that they want it to be, and that's really where they want to hang their hat, is dominating the California high school recruiting scene.
Well, when you think about what they potentially have coming back and what they have coming in, and the new football facility that they'll be moving into in the summer, there is a lot to be excited about in terms of future for the USC football Trojans. But they got their hands full right now in this crosstown rivalry game with UCLA. Team playing with nothing to lose and playing very well right now.
And Tim Skipper has had his boys ready and energized. This one's batted down. There's the wingspan of Gentry.
Yeah, I mean, he is just kind of a unique physique, right, for a linebacker. He is on the edge, 6'5", 230 pounds, but just that wingspan like a power forward in basketball, and he just gets his hands on the football. He's rangy and makes a ton of plays. A big one right there to force 3rd down.
They don't call him the Philly Freak for nothing. And now a 3rd and 7 stops the clock, 1:03 remaining. UCLA 3 for 3 on 3rd down this quarter. And Iamaleava is going to do it with his legs again. And he's going to get close depending on where he started on that slide down.
He took a pretty good hit at the end of that play. I think he's going to be just a hair short. Nope, they're marking 1st down. Again, this guy is courageous now. 2 weeks ago, he missed the Ohio State game with a concussion. He comes back and plays against Washington, gets knocked out of that game with a hard hit to his head area, had neck spasms, didn't practice early this week, came back the last 2 days and participated.
That the runner made the line to gain is under further video review.
Yeah, this looked closer than
I think
just
so.
Giving him the line to gain. Again, it's where he starts the slide, and it looked like he started the slide before he gets to this yellow line. So right there, that's clearly short. Terry McCauley, are you seeing the same thing?
Exactly, Noah. You didn't need me this time. You nailed it right. He starts, the butt drops. It's where the butt drops. It's right about the 20-yard line in that vicinity. So he's clearly short when he starts his slide, and this should be reversed.
All right, so that will change.
And if you'll allow me, that would create a 10-second runoff situation that either team can avoid through calling timeout.
I will always allow you, Terry. That is never a question.
Thank you.
So 41 seconds as it stands right now, and USC does have the 1 timeout to avoid that 10-second runoff if it does come to that. But then UCLA also would potentially have a decision on a 4th and short. Do you kick the field goal and just go ahead and feel like you're in a good spot, or you feel like you've got them kind of in a corner here and you want to try to step on the gas a little bit more?
Well, it's going to be 4th and very short if they are short. They've got 75 yards rushing in the ball game so far.
Let's get the official call from Greg Blum.
USC trying to preserve as much time as they can for their offense. I kind of think if you're UCLA, you go for it here if it's not a 1st down.
Yeah, it looks like that's exactly the discussion here on both sides.
After review, the runner was short of the line to gain. It will be 4th down. You reverse to a running clock that calls for a 10-second runoff. Game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 31 seconds. The clock will start at my ready for play signal.
Yeah, so Tim Skipper electing to not use a timeout, go ahead and take the runoff, right? Because he doesn't want USC to get the football.
a little surprised USC didn't take the timeout. And now, I mean, Lincoln Riley is certainly pleading a case on his side. You can see
the clock was at 57 seconds when the player was down. Game clock operator, please set the game clock to 47 seconds, 4-7.
Maybe that's what Lincoln Riley was talking about.
So still more time than what it looked like initially.
Game clock operator, please set the game clock to 47 seconds, 4-7.
I don't know. I mean, I know he came up short there, but I think Nico Iamaleava, you go quarterback sneak here. If you're under the center, get a push from behind. They have Frias in. He's kind of the more physical back.
See if they can get him to jump first.
They're just going strictly hard count. No movement, no shifts. Nothing to try to fool the defense. Just going with hard count.
And now they will take the time.
Timeout, yeah.
But what it did is take a ton of time off the clock. So now you've got 21 seconds. They'll put 22.
31 seconds.
And now you've got another discussion on the decision. You've got one timeout left. It's a 4th and inches. And 22 seconds, you could still go for it and try to really end this half with some real momentum, or now you kick the field goal with far less time on the clock.
Well, the key is what you mentioned. They still have one timeout in their pocket. So they can go for it. They can line up and run another play. They can spike it. They can take a shot at the end zone, but they still have that one timeout to set up a field goal to try to take the lead here right at the end of the half.
And that looks like what they're going to do. Mateen Begani and the field goal unit making their way on the field to try to take their first lead. Begani on the season, 15 of 19. This one right in his range, 38 yards. He's made from 54 this year. That was at the end of the half against Penn State. He's made from 57 last year against Iowa. And we'll see if he can get the Bruins in front.
USC going to call a timeout to try to ice the kicker. Lincoln Riley right by the official.
Instead, Begani drills it. UCLA takes the advantage, 10-7 with 18 seconds left in the second.
We weren't sure midweek if Nico was going to play, but he has played tonight, and he's played extremely well. In the pocket, reading the progressions, working the ball across the field, showing poise, accuracy, throwing the football, and then when it calls for it, doing what he does extremely well, finding a crease in the defense between the tackles and turning a negative into a positive. It's been an outstanding first half of football for Nico and this entire UCLA team, honestly. They've run the football, they've thrown it. Defensively, they defended the run of USC after that opening drive. And they have a chance to go into the locker room with a 3-point lead.
USC still outgaining the Bruins 195-140, but opportunistic, including a couple of field goal missed chances. One a block and one a miss from Sairi has kept it at just 7 for the number 17 team in the country. UCLA has taken advantage in this battle for LA. As expected, highly competitive heading towards half. Begani, after drilling the field goal, will send it away. Makai Lemon now back there. And Lemon will just let it go right into the end zone. Time now for the upcoming schedule presented by Discover. Saturday, January 10th, the Navy All-American Bowl. 1 p.m. Eastern time on NBC and Peacock. #1 recruiting class in the country. Heading to USC next year. And Lincoln Riley stressing they've gone further and further away from the transfer portal. It's great for pieces here and there, but they want to be a developmental program like we've seen with the likes of Ohio State and Indiana and some of these that have risen to the top of the college football world.
Yeah, ideally, I mean, you want to kind of treat it like an NFL team. You build your roster through the draft or, in college case, high school recruiting.
Mayava, time. Dart, out of bounds. First down for Miller.
Yeah, good protection. UCLA playing a safe defense here, going to give up the underneath routes. And a nice job by Miller running out of bounds to stop the clock. Again, USC still has one timeout as well. Zairi's long of the year, 54 yards against Michigan earlier in the season.
Second longest field goal in USC history. This time Mayava gets crunched. There was no escaping the immediate pass rush of Anthony Jones.
Well, watch the push up the middle. I mean, that's Jacoby Lane had one catch for 12 yards. They need to be big-time factors here in the second half.
Didn't play in the first quarter. We'll see when USC gets the football back what they look like in this third quarter. Cole Martin from the goal line. Gets past the first wave, across the 25, and down to the 27 as we go to Catherine Tapper.
Well, Nico Iamaleava is presenting a huge challenge for this USC defense, and I just asked Lincoln Riley what adjustments they need to make to counter for that, and he said, we simply have to just do a better job containing him. We know what we're supposed to do, and we're just not doing it right now. He said his offense needs to settle in. Wide receivers, as you mentioned, Makai Lemon and Jacoby Lane missed the first quarter. I asked if it was due to disciplinary reasons, and Coach Riley said he would address that after the game, but they do plan on getting him more involved here in the second. Guys,
36 the receiving team. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
All right, KT, thanks so much. We'll see if USC can follow through and contain Nico. This was the flag. Remember, there was a flag on the opening kickoff of the game right around the 40-yard line. And right as the play ends, all the way to this, it looked like a blind side.
Yeah, all the way to the sideline. And for UCLA, their first penalty of the football game. They did not have a penalty in the first half, part of that clean first half. And they backed themselves up here to start the third quarter.
So this drive will start from the 14. Berger is the back, fake it to him, and this play has been blown dead before it could even start. So move backward after the impressive return, and now feels like even going further closer to their goal line.
And that was a good looking play. That was going to be an RPO. Again, they ran the ball well in the first half. They had the slant open. I got to believe it was a false start on the offense since they blew it dead.
During the play, a whistle was blown, not from the field. It's going to be first down, no play.
Oh,
man. Yeah, that hurts because that was a good looking play that they had dialed up to come out of the locker room.
Even when things are going wrong, Tim Skipper is still smiling.
Where would the whistle have come from if it didn't come from the field? The band's safely put away.
Somebody in the crowd?
It's a loud whistle if it came from the crowd.
There's the band on one side. So let's do it all over again from the 14-yard line. This time they will hand it off. And Berger gets planted. Just gains 2 yards across the 15 as Eric Gentry corrals him there. Take a look at our QB comparison brought to you by Target. Nico Iamaleava efficient for 66 yards in the air with a touchdown. He's also ran it 4 times for 20. Mayava 149 yards. The touchdown was courtesy of King Miller on their opening offensive drive. Got them in position. UCLA stymied both drives. And the field goal, first time was blocked, second time missed from 30 yards. Second down and 8. Fake it. Iamaleava will throw it to the sideline. Incomplete.
They just kind of threw it to a dead area. That play was well defended by USC. Don't force a bad play. Live to play another down. Third down and 8. Good opportunity for the Trojan defense and Danton Lynn to get off the field here and get his offense some good field position.
Of course, the 3 and out on the first UCLA drive. It's been success since then, looking for a 3 and out to start the second half.
You have to be aware of Nico trying to scramble between the tackles. You have to close the space inside if he takes off.
They bring 4. Iamaleava throws. It's caught, but well covered. Habermill with the sure hands. DeCarlos Nicholson was there, and it is a 3 and out forced by this Trojan defense.
Yeah, USC brings a little pressure. They collapse the pocket. And Habermill right here, he's going to be matched up against a corner. So that's a matchup that favors USC, a starting corner against the tight end. And he's able to make a sure tackle well short of the first down.
Will Carroll out to send it to Makai Lemon.
Yeah, better be careful with Lemon. You better place this punt correctly.
He gets away a good one. There is the placement, forces him to run to it. And the fair catch made just in front of the 35-yard line, a 43-yard punt with a little bit of contact after the fact. Good field position for Jade Mayava in this offense.
The UCLA defense in that second quarter, they absolutely stuffed the Trojan offense. Shut down the run game, excellent run defense on early downs. And then they got pressure on Jade Mayava. 2 sacks in that first half. That's Kevin Coyle, the defensive coordinator. Again, such a crazy year for the Bruins. He was brought in. He was a defensive analyst at Syracuse when the season started. Long relationship with Tim Skipper. Skipper brought him in the week of the Northwestern game, and he changed the whole defense. He didn't just come in and just try to keep things going. Changed what they were doing, and they are playing well tonight.
As defense gets a stop. Are we sure that was Kevin Coyle, or was that an anonymous source? Oh, I think he's there. Yeah, that's him. That is that L.A. haze late into the night. A great look at the staff by the press box.
The key, again, if you want to stop this USA offense, you've got to stop the run. They didn't do it the first possession, but ever since then, they've done a nice job.
King Miller misdirection. Nowhere to go. Plugging the holes fast.
A really nice job. Watch the edge man on the line right here. Just kind of hold his ground. Takes on the block of Kalon Miller, the guard, and then waits for help to get there. Set the edge. Let help come from the inside. Bring up 3rd and long.
That first quarter, phenomenal. Since then, not so much. 3rd and 10. Likely pass. UCLA brings some pressure. Mayava in the pocket. Lofts too far in front of Tanook Hines. And the UCLA defense stays in rhythm and forces a 3-and-out right back.
Well, they showed pressure, and then they're going to back out. And excellent coverage on Hines. That's, again, Scooter Jackson, the guy Kevin Coyle told me earlier in the week has to play well. Got away with a little grab on the jersey, but he was stride for stride with Hines. And excellent coverage on 3rd and long.
First punt of the night for Sam Johnson. And Mikey Matthews back deep for the Bruins. Good hang time on this one. And the fair catch made at the 25-yard line. So UCLA's defense does its job. Now the offense will have its second crack of this second half. Up by 3. Gift to UCLA by the Alumni Association in 1939. Several USC students stole it a couple years later. It resurfaced in 42. Here we are. The winner claims and gets to paint that thing. As to the outside, Anthony Woods has another positive first down play of maybe 7.5 yards out of bounds.
Really nice job by Cortland Ford, the left tackle. I can't say enough how so far in this ball game, how well the offensive line has played for UCLA. Watch this block by the left tackle. Secures the edge, cuts right inside the block of the big left tackle, and a very good gain on first down running the football. UCLA has had much more success running the football on early downs than USC has so far in this football game.
Just don't expect that UCLA would outrush USC 84-44 with the same number of attempts.
Watch out.
Ball was down.
Yeah, Nico fortunately falls on the football, I think. But a wasted play, right? Second down and short. You actually lose a yard.
Yeah, just the exchange.
You know, that play was definitely going to the left, and you could see the center, Sam Yoon, working that way to the left. As a quarterback, if you know he's reaching that way, you have to kind of go with him with your hands. And that was a wasted play for Jerry Neuheisel's offense.
But still 3rd and very manageable. Just 3rd and 2 after that first down run from Woods. Stays in there here. Gilmer's been the main target. They'll send him in motion. Iamaleava on the move. Downfield. Looking for the first down. He's got it.
Yeah, he had him early. He was a little late getting the ball to Matthews. They do a nice job by formation. They're going to stack the receivers, get the quarterback out on the edge, and watch Matthews. He's open right now. And Nico's a little late getting him the football, but Matthews does a nice job of keeping his feet in bounds and getting the first down.
Just enough of a rub from Gilmer to free him. So, Iamaleava, 12 of 17, 73 yards in the touchdown. Keeps this drive rolling. Fox Flores, the tight end, the motion man on first down. With the rush there, a low throw was brought in by Mokiao Atamalala. Tough catch at the 40 to gain 4.
Yeah, this was good job by Nico throwing under pressure because the pocket collapsed. It was a low throw.
Wow, and tipped. Looked like he got his hands on it as it went to the ground.
Looked like it.
Right there. Again, you're allowed to touch the ground. It just can't move, which it didn't. Carlos Nicholson right there with the coverage and got the hand on the football, but a 4-yard gain makes it 2nd down and 6. Take it to Berger, over the middle again, on time and on target to Mikey Matthews.
That's the play that they tried to run the first play from the 3rd quarter, RPO. All right, so they're going to fake the run, the lines block and run, and bring the slant right in here behind it. You have to respect the run. Watch, here comes a safety on a blitz. That's who you're throwing off of right there. He's coming, he opens up that area, and you throw right behind him. That first play got ruled a no play because of the inadvertent whistle for somewhere. They come back to it right there for a first down.
Gilmer 4 catches, 30 yards. Now Matthews has 3 catches for 17 yards, and they're going to go Gilmer on the screen. Block from Matthews across midfield, gets into USC territory before being spilled towards the sideline at the 47-yard line.
You just get the feel that they're also still set up for something where they fake a short throw and try to stretch the field. They have not thrown the ball down the field yet, but they've thrown enough short throws and been efficient and effective with them. They might have this USC defense set up for a big shot.
Longest pass of the day, 12 yards. The longest run of the day was Berger, who went 17. 2nd down and 4. USC brings 4. Over the middle again, it's caught. High one handled by Habermill.
Habermill working on the safety now. Remember the last time we saw Habermill on a 3rd down working against a corner. This time he's working against a safety. This is a matchup that the tight end has the advantage. And a nice throw from the pocket by Nico. On time and on target. And another first down. You get a tight end matched up on a corner, it favors the defense. Tight end matched up on a safety, typically it favors the offense.
Habermill had a pair of touchdowns, 2 of his 5 in his career against USC a couple years ago. Looking to make an impact in his final collegiate game in year number 7. Delayed handoff. Woods. The stutter step allowed for Alex Graham to get back in the play and drag him down by the ankle.
Yeah, nice play by Graham, but a bad decision by Woods. He should have stayed inside on this run. I mean, he's going to get 4 yards for sure if he stays inside right here. Instead of bouncing it out, it allows a nice play to be made by Alex Graham.
You can see why they're so high on Alex Graham.
Yeah.
He's made a couple of really impactful plays already here tonight.
They thought he was going to be a factor early in the season, battled injuries. They got him back. He can play corner. He can play safety.
2nd and 8. Free rusher. Iamaleava escapes. Now Iamaleava stops on a dime and gets some positive yards. Eric Gentry was there, and he just slipped him enough to gain 2.
Well, Braylon Shelby's like, what happened? I mean, this is Houdini. I mean, he is a free rusher, clean shot, right underneath the arm, and turns it into a positive gain. Short gain, but better than a sack.
He whiffed.
Yeah.
Iamaleava does the rest. See Stewart, the freshman, with the hustle play to help clean it up. The 10th play of the drive will be a 3rd and 5.
Could be 2-down territory here, too. This is a long field goal if they don't convert.
Iamaleava is sacked. It was only a matter of time. and Abasiri finally gets to him for a loss of 9.
Yeah, they ran a nice stunt on that side. Watch, these two guys are going to run a stunt, and they're both going to get pressure. But it's a well-timed, well-executed stunt. Get to the quarterback. And the first sack of the ball game for this Trojan defense.
So it will be a punt as a result.
Big-time play on third down. They're close to field goal range, probably two-down territory if they don't make that third down play. But the sack forces a punt now. Now they just got to try to flip the field.
Third sack of the year for Abasiri. 25th for USC. And let's see where this placement ends up. Fair catch called for and made inside the 10 by Lemon on a 34-yard punt. So long field for USC, but the defense again does its job. Now can the offense respond? Down by 3. We will have our field of 12. For now, battle for LA still very much in the balance past the midway point of this third quarter. USC needs to find something offensively here. Mayava, quick throw. Walker Lyons, the tight end, makes the catch, takes it across the 15, and will set up second down and 3.
A nice quick throw, easy completion for Jaden Mayava. Going with no huddle, trying to keep the same defensive personnel on the field, so no substitution. Not necessarily going fast, but going without a huddle.
Mayava, pitch, King Miller, running room to the outside, and he gets swarmed at the 25-yard line. First down pickup of 8.
Yeah, best run we've seen in a while from USC. They don't go inside. They go with the quick pitch. They actually pulled a lineman the other way to kind of give a little decoy and just went with the straight pitch, get the ball to the perimeter, and the best run King Miller has had since the opening drive of the game.
48 yards and a touchdown, just 2 yards per carry last week, 6.6 yards per carry on the season. Mayava steps into one, and that was a lot of contact. Jacoby Lane was locked in with Andre Jordan Jr., and Jordan going to get the benefit of the doubt.
Well, Jacoby Lane is a big physical receiver, 6'4", 200 pounds. There's a lot of contact by both guys, and the ball gets knocked away. And I think that's a good no call. Both guys are making a play, and Andre Jordan got the better of it.
Another PBU now leads the team coming in with 8 PBUs on the season, all of them over the last 6 games. He's really come on strong in the second half of the season in his junior year. Handoff, Miller. Tracked down from behind as he crossed the 30-yard line down to the 31. It'll be 34.
Well, we didn't see the 2 top receivers at all in the first quarter, sat out. When they did come in the second quarter, they've done virtually nothing. 1 reception for 12 yards for Lane, 0 receptions for Makai Lemon, and this is a guy who is the only Big Ten receiver coming into action this week with over 1,000 yards, and they've been non-factors so far in the football game.
1,124 yards and 10 touchdowns on the season for Lemon, a likely first-round pick this year in the NFL. Bring the pressure. Mayava picks it apart. He took a wallop. Jacoby Lane holds onto the ball as Cole Martin delivered the boom at the back end.
Well, nice job by Mayava, sensing the pressure, expecting man coverage. Quick release. He gets separation right away and then doesn't get separated from the football. Cole Martin with a good, hard legal hit. And a nice job by Jacoby Lane hanging on to the football.
So they will look at Lane after that, taking the shot. Lemon stays in there. First set it down from the 43-yard line. Play clock down to 5. Mayava's going to keep it himself. Good decision. Trying to point it out as he gets to the 49. Key Lawrence, nice job by the veteran just to stay in front, track him from the start of the play.
Yeah, nice little option off of the counter play, right? That's their base play, their bread and butter play. They pull the backside guard and tackle. They fake the counter. The quarterback keeps. There's nobody on the edge. Pretty good job by Key Lawrence closing space there and making a tackle, because it looked like Mayava had a lot of room to run.
Lawrence's freshman year at Oklahoma, Lincoln Riley's last year at Oklahoma. Played for Lincoln there. has had a career at Oklahoma, Ole Miss, now at UCLA. Whoa. That was dangerous and somehow brought in by Tanuk Hines, but it looked like he was down. Whether or not that was even a completion remains to be seen. It looks like they will give him the catch at the midfield line.
Kind of a late throw to an outlet receiver. Looked like it could have been picked, went right through the arms of Kanye Clark. And Hines able to make a catch.
Contested catch for sure. The question is, where does he go down? I'm not sure he went down.
No, but they can't do anything about that at this point.
So it's 3rd down and 3. Go fairly quick. It's a quick pitch, and Walker Lyons has got it. Did just enough before skirting out of bounds to move the sticks.
And Jacoby Lane with a big block. Watch, again, because the tight end is behind the line of scrimmage, you can block downfield. He catches it. Jacoby Lane's already into a block on the corner to get the first down. Throw it at or behind the line of scrimmage. You can block downfield. Nice job by Jacoby Lane securing the edge for the first down.
So it'll be a first down from the 46.
Got to find a way to get this guy the football.
Fake it. Instead, back to the tight end. This time, Lake McCree over the middle of the field as he gets chopped down by Scooter Jackson. 13 more through the air.
Watch this route. Watch him just freeze the linebacker here. Here's McCree going to run this little route. Freezes the linebacker. Opens up in the middle of the defense. And Mayava finds him with the football. Little stutter step by the tight end. And a nice throw over the middle of the field for USC.
Kobe Lane, helmet back on. Question is, can he get back out? Approaching 30 seconds to play in the 3rd. Fake it to Brian Jackson. Mayava, sideline, towards the end zone. There he is! Touchdown! Makai Lemon, 32 yards. There is a flag down.
I think it's going to be pass interference on the defense. Makai Lemon, these two receivers.
Pass interference, defense, number 21, the penalties decline. Result of play, the touchdown.
They are both excellent on contested catches. And Jaden Mayava has great confidence even if they're covered. This is pass interference. It's pretty good coverage. Doesn't matter. You know, Woody Hayes at Ohio State used to say, if you throw the football, 3 things can happen and 2 are bad. It can be incomplete or intercepted. Jade Mayava says, if I throw the football, 3 things can happen and 2 are good. Either my guy's going to catch it or you go to defensive pass interference. That time you got both.
11th receiving touchdown of the season for Lemon. 22nd passing touchdown of the year for Mayava. And that extra point makes it a 4-point lead. Well, it was only a matter of time before Makai Lemon was going to catch his first ball of the night. This was a big time to do it. Winding down in the 3rd, USC regains control. The battle for LA.
Ashton Daniels rolling to his right, looking downfield. Malcolm Simmons is there. He's in for the score. Auburn is within 4 of Alabama, Noah and Todd.
No drama. We don't want no drama. The United Cam never brings us any drama. Time for a look here. One of your favorite traditions right here,
I love
right?
Traveler, yeah.
What about that Traveler?
Not so much that one. I'm a big real animal mascot fan, though.
Were you a fan of lifting up teammates on the sideline with a chair over your head? Zaire sends it away. Taken by Cole Martin at the goal line. Whoa. Oh, he gets upended. Nowhere to run at the 15-yard line. Down the field, perfect special teams play.
Yeah, really nice job knifing in there. They ran a little bit of a twist on the way down the field. An excellent play by the USC special teams.
So 20 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. And UCLA, who had the lead at halftime, had the lead for the majority of this quarter, and now have a chance to retort the Lemon touchdown. 2 backs in there. Iamaleava hands, and it's Berger through the hole. Berger with a speed, down the sideline, shoved out of bounds. Perfect start to the drive. Berger's been chewing up yards. 25.
As both coaches and players will never be together again, and they have a chance to go out on a really positive note if they can play well here in the fourth quarter. But USC with a 4-point lead right now.
Let's start with a good play here on first down. It's a delayed handoff. Berger has been the go-to guy most of the second half, and he gains another chunk as we go to KT.
Yeah, and after stops at Wisconsin and Michigan State, Berger told me UCLA is the program that's gotten the best out of him. He said, I'm more of a Swiss Army knife now. I can catch out of the backfield, throw, run the ball, or go into Wildcat. I feel like here I'm really exploiting all of my talents. He also acknowledged that he's gotten better at blocking down the field. He said because when you got a quarterback like Nico Iamaleava, that he can take it to the house anytime from anywhere in the field, guys.
That certainly helps. That dual threat quarterback to go with a running back as experienced as Jalen Berger now in his 5th year from Don Bosco High School in New Jersey to Wisconsin to Michigan State, here to UCLA. Oh, is that caught? It was bobbled. Quasi Gilmer had the second effort, but it looks like it's incomplete.
It was a design back shoulder throw. It was on a dart. It wasn't much air under this. It's a well-thrown ball. He has it initially, but can't control it as he goes to the ground. An opportunity missed there on second down. A throw down the field. It was there, but it brings up third down. And again, this is where Danton Lynn's defense is at its best. Third down passing situations. And you have to be alert for the running ability of Nico.
On 3rd and 6, Iamaleava delivers, incomplete. Mokiao Optimalala might have had just enough space, couldn't squeeze it, 4th down.
Well, those are 2 missed opportunities now. This is, again, excellent protection. A good job by Nico staying in the pocket, making an accurate throw, and 2 plays in a row, balls that should have been caught were dropped, and UCLA has to punt the football.
Marcellus Williams, who has played some outstanding football the last couple weeks of the season, makes a critical stop. Now Makai Lemon back for this kick from Will Carroll. And Carroll gets it away. Lemon retreats, takes it in inside the 10. Gonna look to make some magic happen. To the outside, Makai Lemon gets a block. Makai Lemon goes airborne and out of bounds. Marvelous. Magnificent. Just Makai doing stuff for USC. A 35-yard return.
College football playoff format with the 12 teams, second year with 12 teams, and instead of the top 4 highest ranked conference champions, the top 4 ranked teams get that bye. So it'll be interesting to watch how the whole thing shakes out here the next 2 weeks.
After the longest punt return of the season for USC, the best starting field position of the day for the Trojans. And Mayava wants to take the shot. That's a laser beam that's picked. Key Lawrence takes it away.
Is down, though.
Lawrence looking to return back into USC territory. Flag is down at the 35. A fight after the whistle as well.
They may get Andre Jordan, the corner, who was in coverage, for a penalty. Lawrence was the safety over the top who's going to get the interception. Jordan was the underneath cover guy. Take a look as they try to get the tight end down the field. McCree, actually it's not Jordan, it's right there at 21. Cole Martin was the underneath cover guy, and the flag came out right there.
Also might be on the hit. It came back
There are
towards
2
the line of
fouls
scrimmage.
against the defense.
Yep.
Pass interference, 21. That's declined. Personal foul, roughing the passer, 15 defense. 15-yard penalty for the previous spot, automatic, 1st down.
Well, the interception would have been wiped out either way, and Jade Mayava very thankful for that, because that was an ill-advised throw, throwing into coverage down the field to his tight end.
So what felt like a momentum shifting play for UCLA gets taken away. And now USC looking to capitalize. Remember, they've missed 2 field goals here tonight, which currently would have them up by 10. UCLA's done a great job when USC has gotten into threatening position of tightening the defense. Good news is Jacoby Lane is back on the field for the Trojans.
Single coverage with Lemon in the slot as well.
Kate Miller spinning away from one, staying on his feet across the 40, and gets pushed forward to the 38-yard line.
Well, Mekhi Lemon did not play the first quarter. One of the best receivers in all of college football. He woke up here in the third quarter. First the touchdown, contested catch, and then the punt return. They've got some juice going on that sidelines for USC. Excellent field position. And now USC threatening again. And this guy is a dynamic playmaker, has had an outstanding season. All around him. He's thrown touchdowns, run him, caught him.
Mayava patient to find the open man. It's Lane shaking free inside the 20, and Lane is out of bounds. Lawrence forced him to the sideline. It'll be a pickup of 27 and set up first and goal.
Yeah, it looked like Kanye Clark made a mistake. He tried to just kind of go for the ball instead of the tackle. And Jacoby Lane's just too big. He just brushed that off and added yards after the catch on the mistake by Clark.
Now this Trojan offense starting to look like we've seen all season. Mayava starting to deal at 247 and a touchdown. Looking for more to extend the lead. Mayava throws. Miller makes the one-handed grab. Miller down to the 2.
Boy, I like this misdirection. I mean, watch Jaden Mayava. His eyes, watch now. They're going to bring in motion. He's looking left, looking left. No, it's by design. Come back the other way. Get the defense flowing with the action and with the eyes of the quarterback, then slip the back out the other way. Comes up just short of the goal line, but a well-designed and executed misdirection play.
Miller had the opening touchdown for USC. His 6th of the season. Fake it to him, lofts it to the end zone, touchdown! On senior day, it's the 5th-year senior Lake McCree who delivers for the Trojans.
Well, a couple things here. Another well-designed play. 3 tight ends. Here's 2. Here's McCree. And this is Lemon. And bringing him in motion, watch how he affects the defense. Play action fake. Motion Lemon. Slip McCree out. He's wide open in the corner. And a nice little play action touchdown to cap an excellent USC drive. 3 tight ends. You're thinking run, the way they go play action for the easy touchdown throw.
And Sayuri stays perfect on extra points this year. In a blink. That they still allow you in their meeting.
I just try to give them a few nuggets to help them in any way I can. They do a great job. They follow our action, and they get great shots.
Yes, they do. 21-10. USC looking to shut the door on this battle for Los Angeles as we check in with Catherine Tappan.
Well, guys, Lincoln Riley was mentored by the late Mike Leach at Texas Tech, and DeCarlos Nicholson, who played under Leach at Mississippi State before transferring here to USC, said while he sees similarities between the way Leach ran his program and how Riley does it, Riley has really come into his own these last few seasons. He said he's got his own spice that he puts on the offense. You can tell he's from the same coaching tree, but he certainly has carved out his own mark, guys.
As we talked about, he took a lot of that conviction from Leach. Leach had him doing some bizarre tasks back in the day when he was starting as a student assistant all the way through, finding zany things for him to do, but it feels like, at least from Lincoln's perspective, it made him a better coach, a better understanding of football. That one's in stride, and a catch to Quasi Gilmer. That'll be enough for 10 yards.
The thing that I'm most impressed with USC this year is I do think they are trending in the right direction. They are tougher, right? They're a grittier, tougher football team. Last year they lost 6 games. 5 of those losses were one-possession games where they had a lead in the fourth quarter and didn't know how to finish. They're 2-1 in those kind of games this year, and this was a one-possession game in the fourth quarter as well.
Another catch. Gilmer goes down low to get it. He talked so much about the mindset shift for this team. First year, he said it was a lot of just convincing them, hey, you can win some of these games. And then as they went on, it was a complete overhaul of the team's mindset. He said he was maybe most proud this season that with the injuries at running back and the injuries at offensive line and some of the injuries they dealt with in secondary, it didn't really impact the team's mindset, and he felt that was a huge step forward for this program as they head into year 5 next year. Screen pass, it's all Gilmer so far on this drive as he bounces off a few tacklers, and again will move the sticks.
Yeah, well, the thing now with UCLA, they've got to pick up their pace a little bit, right? I mean, they're 11 points down. They've played well. So Nicholson is down on the field at the end of that play.
There is that Mississippi State transfer that KT was at Oakland and Arizona. UCLA still with a pulse here. And that is not going to help. You need Jay with the early movement.
Ball start. Offense number 71. 5-yard penalty. First down.
You know, coming into this game, these two teams were the two worst in terms of most penalties per game in the Big Ten. Both of them have done a good job tonight. That's the third penalty against UCLA. USC only 2 penalties for 15 yards. They had 8 for over 100 last week in Eugene.
Frias and Woods initially in the backfield. Now Frias will motion out. First and 15. Iamaleava will not escape. Right into the arms of Abasiri with his second sack of the night.
Yeah, Abasiri gets the sack, but Cameron Crawford, number 1, watch him from the top of the screen collapse the pocket, forces Nico up into the pocket and right into the waiting arms of Abasiri. This defensive line, they're deep, they're athletic, and when they get an opponent in definite passing situations, they can get after the quarterback.
False start, sack, back-to-back plays. Second and 18. They're not going to get this off unless they got to call a timeout here. They had to give USC time to substitute.
Play game, offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
So no timeout taken. Instead, it's false start, sack, delay of game.
Yeah, second and 23. Got to get a little bit of this back right here. You're not going to get it all back in a chunk. Maybe a screen pass. Something to try to get part of that yardage back. Give yourself a fighting chance on third down.
Quasi Gomer has had the most impact on the outside today. Career high 8 catches. He's got 58 yards and a touchdown. He's been Iamaleava's number 1 option. The throw on second and 23. There is a screen pass, and Woods just barely gets back to the line of scrimmage and gains a yard. Alex Graham, again from his secondary spot to come up and make the tackle. Young man says fight on. Trojans have listened in this second half, taking this game over into the 4th. Third and 21. Iamaleava delivers. It's caught. Mokiel off to Malala. Big names, bigger gain. First down.
Well, DJ Harvey is in coverage, number 2. If he makes the tackle after the catch, it's short of the first down, but he misses the tackle. And that allows the receiver to get beyond the sticks and make the first down. What a huge conversion on 3rd and a mile by UCLA.
Longest pass play of the day. 24 yards to keep this drive moving and keep this game in the balance. Berger back in there on first down. Iamaleava pumps. Escapes. Iamaleava on the run. Out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Good job getting away from pressure. You know, this is what you see on film from UCLA, is that they don't stop playing. They don't stop fighting. Now, they've gotten blown out the 4 games prior to this one. Played poorly against Washington at home in their senior night, their last home game. They are playing with a little different edge, a little different chip on their shoulder tonight, trying to make this a one-score game again.
Again, Bogani does have a leg, 57 yards, his career long. Right here would be about 58. Iamaleava looking to use the wheels. He gets tracked down. Braylon Shelby whiffed earlier. This time a no-doubt sack.
Well, that's because this time Nico couldn't see him in order to duck him, because Braylon's coming from the backside. Again, we talked about the athleticism of this defensive front. He beats the left tackle and then chases down the quarterback and closes that space. Nico didn't see him, didn't feel him until it was too late.
Brings up a 3rd and 12. Play clock down to 2. They don't see it. They don't get it.
Yeah, you just can't do this. I mean, he's got to be more aware of this. This is on the quarterback. I mean, you already have 3rd and long.
Offense. Final penalty, 3rd down.
Tim Skipper and Jerry Neuheisel choosing not to use timeouts to hang on to him. The quarterback has got to be responsible for the play clock. You've got to pick up your urgency, pick up your tempo, your pace, and avoid those kind of penalties.
Converted on 3rd and 23.
I think Danton Lynn was going to bring pressure the last 3rd down. I think he's going to drop out and play coverage on this one. And another penalty.
After clean.
Offense number 71. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
It's Unije again. And after a clean first several quarters, 3.5, it has gotten sloppy on this drive. Essentially the same situation as they just converted to Mokiao Atumalala.
Just don't have a whole lot of plays on a play sheet to convert 3rd and 22. Three-man rush, dropping 8.
Dump it. Woods lowers the shoulder, doesn't get much further to the 45 of the Trojans as Nicholson makes the tackle.
The problem with that, those penalties and backing it up, is even if you're thinking about going for it here with this late in the game, you still have a ton of yardage to convert on 4th down.
It'll be 4th and 15 with the offense still on the field.
Still a very difficult conversion opportunity here for Jerry Neuheisel and Nico Iamaleava.
0 for 5 on 4th down the last 2 games. Four-man rush. Iamaleava throws. Gilmer's going to have to be special, and he gets tracked down. Desmond Stevens keeps it to just a 10-yard gain and a turnover on downs.
Yeah, nice job by Stevens. They played zone. They tried to make him throw underneath. Tried to get the ball to Gilmer to see if he could get yards after the catch. Short throw. Knows where the line to gain is. Stevens able to get him to the ground. Grabbed the helmet, not the face mask, and got him to the ground short of the 1st down.
See, Iamaleava asking for something, anything. Won't get it. Bruins won't get it. 4:15 to play. Trojans take over at their own 35.
And in position to earn themselves another gritty 4th quarter competitive Big Ten football game. And again, that's the progress I've seen in this season under Lincoln Riley.
14th carry for King Miller. Jumps through and spins across the 40. Game 7.
You know, a lot of USC fans maybe not happy with how the progress has gone, thinking that maybe they should be further along with Lincoln Riley because it hasn't measured up to the same. And I think this USC team will be a contender next year in this conference and to make the college football playoff.
Miller gets 3 more yards, and that will, unless UCLA stops it, which it looks like they will, they'll take their first time out with 2:36 left.
First team timeout, UCLA, 32nd timeout.
With Jade Mayava this year, we saw some really explosive offense through the season again in this second half.
Yeah, he's played extremely well. Again, remember, he started the game without his 2 favorite targets. Still had good numbers, 21 of 29, 257, a couple of touchdowns. He ran the ball a couple times off the play action, counter fake. Just kind of distributing the football. Played a very clean game. Threw a couple picks in Eugene a week ago. They couldn't run the football. Season low 52 yards rushing. Put a little bit too much on him. Had to throw it over 40 times. That's not when they're in their wheelhouse, when they're at their best. They're best when their run is good and they're throwing it between 25 and 30 times a game.
King Miller looking to slam the door shut on this battle for LA. Calabasas high school product. 16 carries, make it 17 with a hole. Miller off to the races from walk-on. He'll keep fighting on. 41-yard touchdown.
Result of the play is a touchdown. At the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Scoring team number 8. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed in the ensuing kickoff.
So Jacoby Lane called for unsportsmanlike conduct after the play, but King Miller has likely just said night-night.
Yeah.
And they're lining up, it looks like initially, in an interesting 2-point type of conversion look. They will snap. Retreat to the end zone. It is caught. 2 more on the board as it goes to Walker Lyons. What a play call. And Gage Roy, one of the backup quarterbacks, delivers the ball in the perfect spot.
Well, here's Walker Lyons right in here. And he's just going to go and kind of hook around in there. They release all 3 tight ends. Lyons just bodies up the defender, kind of like he's boxing out for a rebound. And taking a page out of Jaden Mayava's book, throwing it off balance, backing up, giving your guy a chance. But here's the touchdown. Now watch. We talk about Lemon and Lane. Watch this block to start the play by Makai Lemon. Key block. Now, here's the other guy down the field. Jacoby Lane getting a block, right? Both receivers. It hasn't been a bunch of catches tonight, but doing the things to help their team win and now put this game out of reach. First block by Makai Lemon. Second block downfield is going to be by Jacoby Lane. And King Miller goes untouched into the end zone to kind of shut the door on this one for the Trojans.
His first career multi-touchdown game. And Lincoln Riley says it was not expected, obviously, for him to have the role that he's had as Nico Imaliava looks on and his team's chances slip away. But King Miller's handled himself incredibly well with the physical and mental tax that brings week in and week out of carrying it 15+ times, which he's done since taking over. And he hasn't changed who he is. He's been the same guy that he's been as a walk-on. Comes in every day, works his tail off, tries to prove why he deserves and continues to deserve that playing time. As Cole Martin gets it across the 40, an excellent return out of bounds across the 45-yard line. Some words being exchanged after over on the UCLA side. Couple months away, next year, experience the majesty of the Winter Olympics. From northern Italy Friday, February 6th on NBC and Peacock.
There's no foul in the play.
Coliseum will be track and field and opening ceremony at the Summer Olympics in 2028 here in Los Angeles. We'll see the torch lit early and often.
I'll say this about King Miller. If nothing else, hopefully he earned a scholarship, right?
You got to imagine him and his twin brother.
Yeah. I mean, Kalon has had to be the starter on the offensive line. Both walk-ons.
Yamaliava, Frias in the backfield. He is met immediately by Braylon Conley. You got 2:11 and ticking, likely taking us to the 2-minute timeout here at the Coliseum. UCLA's lined up. We'll see if they can get one more play off in time. And they do. Yamaliava steps into one, tip. Oh, it's caught on the carom. Mikey Matthews with the assist from Gilmer. A flag is down in the secondary. That was almost an alley-oop between the receivers and a gain of 21 yards.
Players for the defense participating. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is a first down.
That'll take us to the 2-minute timeout with a spectacular play on the tip and the catch. Matthews brings it in. Riley and company doing their job. UCLA's offense battling all the way through for 4 quarters here as Yamaliava drops back. Now he'll escape. Eyes downfield and a little too much mustard on that one. Just a huge shout out to Tim Skipper for the job that he's done this year. Coming in a couple games into the season for Deshaun Foster, was the interim head coach last year at his alma mater, Fresno State, and has really just kept this team together amidst a challenging stretch to start the year.
Yeah, I mean, a really, really unusual situation, you know, and he has been so positive. You know, we met him last year when he was at Fresno State as an interim coach and loved him then. He's got a lot of juice, a lot of positivity, and he's a guy that somebody would be smart to hire.
Yamaliava gets dragged down, but another impressive run by the quarterback right near the line to gain. He'll pick up 9. When you were asking Tim Skipper, he played for Pat Hill when he was at Fresno State, and Pat Hill would do anything to motivate his players. And he said, USC refused to play against us. They just refused to play us to help motivate both USC for playing them, as that one's right on time. And Mokiao Atamalala has a first down. He also said that he did everything for them, and it actually helped give the players a greater appreciation for the situation that they had. He's like, we didn't have a lot of money as a program. We didn't have a jersey sponsor. As Yamaliava, another throw, another catch for Gilmer, sheds a tackle, and then gets spun like a top. His 10th reception of the night. So he said that Pat Hill would actually do a fundraiser where they would do a used car sale in conjunction with one of the local businesses. All the players would go. He said, we were eating pizza and burgers, and you would think it was steak and shrimp, the way that he taught us. Towards the end zone, the Yamaliava a little too far in front of Mikey Matthews and incomplete.
Well, and again, I think one of the things to really respect, and I say this being the son of a coach also, you know, Tim Skipper, Jerry Neuheisel, Kevin Coyle, this whole staff, when they're in the office, when they're in the football building, when they're around the players, they got one focus. That was to make the Bruins the best they could be, day in and day out, to make the program better than when they took it over. But you still got families and a lot of uncertainty. When you go home, you got to have honest conversations with your family about what's next. Where do we go from here?
Yamaliava, incomplete. Gilmer, the intended target, DJ Harvey in coverage. They really did find that blend. And again, that is not an easy blend for anybody to find.
Well, you owe it to the kids, right? And you know, you be professional, you do your job, you do it the best you can. They're down to a 4th down play right here.
It is still a 3-possession game. 51 seconds remaining. Last gasp for the Bruins. Yamaliava, that'll end it. Taken down snapped in the backfield. Jaden Walker, the redshirt freshman linebacker, a pillar of the future for the Trojans, ends the game in the battle for Los Angeles.
Jaden Walker does a nice job just beating the blocker. Here he is right here. He's going to take on Berger right at the point. He's going to run through Berger on his way to the quarterback and get the sack to end the football game. For USC now, they'll find out what their bowl destination will be at 9-3. I would imagine it'll be a pretty decent bowl.
30-second timeout.
You know, the best thing about bowl games is you have additional practice time, right? And so you can work a lot of your young players. We already talked about the top recruiting class in the country coming in next year. I'm sure some of them will sign early or come in early. Might even be able to be a part of some of that. It'll be good momentum going into the bowl game and then on to next season.
We're seeing more and more in terms of energy and emotion this season out of Lincoln Riley. Stoic for so many years, but a lot of that fire has come out, and you can see that, to your point, the word you keep using, the gritty wins that they've had, they mean something to him.
Yeah.
And they will head to victory formation here. A couple of kneel downs. And
Victory
number 9.
Formation and then the victory bell.
That's right.
You get to keep it.
Every wins in back-to-back years. In this series, the home team will finally get a victory after 5 straight victories from the road team. And officials say one more kneel down is necessary. Mayava will oblige. Cole Martin, physical at the end.
Not necessary. Everybody else was just kind of taking a knee and.
But handled well.
Yeah.
And it will wind all the way down. Zeros on the clock. Mutual respect from the coaches. Win number 9 for the USC Trojans. They take the battle